so long. We've been here, we've been trying.
Hi there, and welcome to another exciting edition of the Springboard Hangout. The Springboard Hangout, as you know, is your fun-educative program where we learn about what we need to do to have a very impactful life. My name is Comfort Okran. Today we are continuing our series on adding value to your life. And today, what value addition are we doing? We are going to add value by looking at continuous improvement and personal development. We have in the studios the one and only Terry Mante. He is not just an author, but he's also a consultant with Terry Mante Exchange. Right, so today we are going to have a real impactful exchanging ideas about personal development. Now let me ask you, which do you use more? What you learned in school or the one that you learned on the job? Hold your questions. We are going for a quick break. When we return, we'll not only ask that from Terry, but we'll find out more. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Get me York's rent-a-car. I need a car in 15 minutes. Hi, I'm Jake Morris, and I travel globally. But when I'm in Ghana, York's Rent-A-Car is my reliable choice for safety and comfort on the road. York's Rent-A-Car provides comprehensive logistics services to mainly blue-chip companies as well as individual clients.
At a time we needed a car rental service, and York's fitted in very well to our standards.
Their services is top-notch. Drivers are on time.
It was beautiful to see them behind the wheels. And anytime they pick up a guest, the guests were very, very happy.
Already? Yes. Excellent. York's Rent-A-Car provides services and expertise that include meet and greet services at the airport, car rental, driver personal outsourcing, and vehicle detailing. What's the problem? It's you. I told you. York's Rent-A-Car delivers world-class service to its customers, having their highest safety and comfort in mind. So watch him. Go over open for him. York's Rent-A-Car runs 24/7 operations where customers can make car reservations and inquiries of our services online and also call our hotline.
Welcome back to the Springboard Hangout. Today we are hanging out with Terry Mante, and we are looking at adding value to yourself in terms of personal development and continuous personal learning. Well, I asked a question when we were going away, and I think the question is still relevant. Terry, are you ready to help us? Which is more important, the one that you learned in school or the one that you learned on the job? Which one are you using more?
Well, I would say that I use both. I use both of them. What is necessary is that we have to be able to learn how to fuse what we learn in school with what we learn outside of school. But I know that sometimes when we start talking, we tell people that it's not what you learn in school and all of that. But as I reflect, I realize that the things I have learned in school, the experiences I've had in school are an integral part of what I do, and they help me to be able to even make more use of the things I'm learning outside of school. Some things as basic as addition and subtraction, how to read, and all those, we learned them in school. So I use them. And then sometimes it may not be directly, but they affect how our mind is framed, how our mindset is framed and all of that. So we interpret a lot of things we encounter outside of school through the lenses of what we've learned in school. So we use both.
We use both.
Yes.
I see. So what is personal development?
I see personal development as a lifestyle and a lifetime commitment to be responsible for adding value to yourself. That is personal development. So the commitment an individual makes to constantly add value to themselves, to be able to reinvent themselves, to be able to just improve in value. Because one of the things about life is that if you are not developing something and you leave it, it becomes extinct, it becomes obsolete, it's no longer beneficial at a certain point in time. So that is how I see personal development.
I see. Should anyone be serious about it? Is this something that is a must, or is something that is optional?
It's absolutely necessary.
Why?
So let me give you an example.
Okay.
When I was doing national service, I did national service in a research company in Accra.
Okay.
And one time I went to work early and the phone rang. The receptionist had not reported to work. I was not the receptionist. So I had it, and trying to be a good staff, I didn't want to say that it's not my job, so I will ignore the phone. So I went to pick the phone and I answered, "Hello, this is so and so." Then the person said, "May I speak with whoever?" That was when I realized that I didn't know how to transfer a call. I didn't know how to transfer a call. So I had to, so I put the phone, I said, "Please hold." I put the phone, I went to ask my colleagues. None of them knew how to transfer the call to. So we gave whoever was calling a very bad experience on the phone, and it wasn't good. So it was something I wasn't conscious of, but at that point I realized, I don't know how to transfer a call. So if I had learned it, maybe when I got into the company at first, if I had taken the initiative to talk to the receptionist, to ask, to get to know a little more about their work without anybody, it would have helped. So that's an example of how critical it is. So sometimes you may even have the desire to do something, but because you've not really learned it or you are not skilled in that area, it doesn't help. And of course, this is one of the things we don't learn in school, how to transfer a phone call.
So then, what I hear from what you the incident you just narrated, that personal development is not just limited to the classroom.
It's not.
It extends
beyond
to what you need to survive or excel in your workspace.
Exactly.
Or
but
in life, actually.
In life, generally. That's personal development. You need it in how you relate to people, how you are able to adapt, how you are able to apply the things you learn in different situations, in different contexts. That is what really personal development is. And then how you were able to do something yesterday, but if another situation comes up, can you transfer your skills to those areas? And for me, in the Bible, for example, we see this gentleman called David. David was in the bush, just playing with taking care of the animals. He was just killing lions, killing bears, protecting them and all of that. But when he moved to when there was a national situation, he was able to translate the very skills he was using in the bush to address the national crisis by killing Goliath and all of that. And that is how sometimes personal development can help us. And it's the same thing. And usually I don't like to rubbish too much of what we do in school, even though sometimes it's a bit, but if we are able to learn how we can relocate those skills, those lessons, those things we are learning into other real life situations, whether it's in the workplace, whether it's on the home front, wherever in our social relationships and all that, we can really leverage them well and we can benefit. So it includes classroom education if there is an opportunity for it, but beyond that, there are so many avenues for us to also learn and to improve ourselves. Yes.
Wow. I like the fact that you talked about David and Goliath at this particular moment. And I like the fact that you said the skills that he had learned in some place that had absolutely no relation to national issues he was able to transfer it and apply to tackle such issues. So I'm wondering, amongst those of us who are watching today, what skills have you learned that you don't think can be useful at the national situation? Start thinking about it. Who knows? You may be a solution in the future, and prepare yourself. When the time comes, Charlie, make sure you kill the Goliath for us because we need you. Right. Okay. Right. So I guess things like soft skills, financial literacy, and so on and so forth, they do play a part in personal development.
Extremely.
Don't they?
They do, extremely. Extremely, because those are the things you need to deal with the real issues of life. So financial literacy, whether you are a medical doctor or whether whoever you are, you need to understand how money works, how to make money, how to manage money, how to use it and all that, how to account for money and all of that. Because you face it. When you are sick, it's a financial issue. You have to go to the hospital, you pay the doctor.
But me, I'm a doctor, I'll take care of myself.
You're a doctor, you take care of yourself.
Yes.
But when your child comes to you with school fees, but even if you're a doctor and you take care of yourself, you don't produce the medicine yourself. You have to buy it. You may have to get tested and all of that. So you need it. You wear clothes. You buy your clothes. If you have to move around, you have to drive or take care of transportation one way or the other. So those things, we need them. They are very core, very fundamental to our well-being. And I think that even in our academic environment, in our formal educational establishments, I think it's one of the things we really have to consider, how we integrate them. Not necessarily isolating them as subjects, but integrating them into the way the educational system functions. So somebody goes to school and learns mathematics and learns about maybe something like the gradient of a line or the slope of a line. The person comes out to become a mason, and the mason does some work in the bathroom and the water cannot go. So what did they do with the gradient of a line? It tells you how you can slope so that when the water can run smoothly and all of that. So as we learn those things, we have to find ways to integrate them into the everyday, into the lesson, so people can easily translate them into real life situations.
I see. I like the fact that you're talking about how we can integrate our learnings in the school system into how we live our lives, into how we even work, because that's one of sometimes you meet employers who say that, oh, I have this person who is supposed to be a first-class candidate, and yet when I bring the person into the organization, the person cannot translate that knowledge that he or she acquired to tackle the real life roles in our workspace. How can I help the person? Today, I want you to help this first-class candidate who hasn't yet been able to make the connection between the school and life.
Okay. So usually one of the things I talk about is that people should, first of all, learn to be able to imagine things. So develop the ability to, we all have the ability to imagine, but we have to be more conscious about that, how we form mental pictures. So usually when I am in a classroom and we are learning stuff, I am asking myself, so this thing, what can I do with it? Everything else I said, and so what? And then you have to extract the principles out of those things instead of just trying to memorize and trying to do that. It's about understanding and then being able to imagine how else what you are learning can be applied. And then you link it to situations that we face in real life, in life and all that. But of course, people must expose themselves. People must have a certain sense of purpose in life. You must have a clear, sometimes it will not even be so clear, but you must have a certain desire of what you want your life to represent. So every situation you find yourself in, you must be linking the experiences of that environment to the desires you have for your life. And as you keep doing that, your mind somehow finds a way to work and to connect all these dots for you.
You know, when you said this, it reminded me of I really like to have fun.
Yeah.
So everywhere I am, I like to make sure that it's a light environment. So I recently had the opportunity to work with a new group that I'd never met them before. I don't know them from Adam. And of course, you know, when adults meet, they have to show that, Charlie, I be Ugbo.
Yeah.
So we all met and everybody was, formal. And so then this one will release the tech one, and then this one will release the. I was like, hey, sister girl. So I just said, okay, so how can I make this environment more light, more fun, and to help them relax a little? And so when you were talking about the fact that whenever we are listening or whenever we're in the classroom learning about something, we should look at how we can apply it and look at what you yourself, you are more prone to, and see how you can use that in the environment. So when I got into that environment, because my natural thinking, inkling is that, Charlie, there must be some fun around here. Immediately, I found ways of making it fun in that space. Exactly. And so the people who were all, all of a sudden they broke down and they were now, thinking of that. I'm talking to a fellow person, and all the tech and Legon English all disappeared. Yes. So I can relate. I can relate to that. Yeah. I can relate to that.
So basically, that's about it. I remember when I was in at the university. I have some experiences to share. When I was at the university, at that time I said, I wanted to become a very respected economist and all. So I really fought hard to get to do economics for first degree. And then I got there and I realized that the economics I did in secondary school is very different. You
mean the limited ones and the demand and supply were?
It's very, very, very different. You draw all kinds of curves. And I sat in an econs math class. I'm not good with numbers. I sat in an econs math class, and all the things they were teaching used to go
they were really above your head.
Then you sit in another class, microeconomics class, and then you sit in the exam and you're supposed to apply the mathematics you don't understand to the microeconomics.
You were in trouble.
It was trouble. But at the same time too, I was doing well with subjects that require reading and writing. So even in the same economics department, so I would read my accounts notes whenever I get to where we have to do some number, I skip. We have to draw a curve, I skip. I will just make sure I understand the principles and everything. So in an exam, I'm looking for questions that would require writing without any curves or any calculation and stuff like that. But at a point, I got tired and I said, no, I'm going to drop this course. So by level 200, I was in a hurry for that academic year to end. So that I could drop the course. Thankfully, the department dropped me before I even had a chance to drop it. But the lesson I picked from that was I realized I was strong with that. I realized I couldn't worry myself with so why am I struggling? So I just finished my first degree, political science and sociology. But the main idea was that the main skill that I became aware of was that I could understand the concept and I could express those things in writing, not even in speaking, but in writing. I could think about something and then get the very simple words, and then I work it out like that, and I would get my grades and all of that. And that has become very core in almost everything I do. In my work now. Almost everything I do.
So the thing that was supposed to have been an obstacle, you found a way around it by using your strengths.
Yes. So in any environment, so I said my national service was in a research company. And in market research, there are all kinds of skills. You need quantitative. There are people who like the quantitative aspect. I said, I am a words person. So in that environment, I quickly had to make sure they see me for the qualitative aspect of research.
Or the writing the report.
Writing the report, writing the research proposal.
Yes.
Even when the data comes and when we do the analysis, right? So it helped me in that direction. Even today, as a consultant, a lot of the deliverables are usually in the form of a report.
Yes.
So you go and you look at the situation, you talk to the person, say, okay, I'll get back to you. Then you come and set your conception, and then you present the report. So it's how you are. So it was just for marks, academics. So you write, you get very good marks, but somehow I was able to. I realized that I could actually pivot around this, and in every environment, I could use that to really sustain myself and to live. And that's how it has been. Like, so I ended up writing books and all of that.
Yeah, I remember. So you used to write your books.
I still do.
Fantastic. I see. So, you know, earlier we are talking about soft skills and financial literacy. I know they're usually not taught in schools, right? Yeah. Should that be something, because you established that it's needed by every single human being. Yeah. Should it be something that should be incorporated, or how can we incorporate those things in our present day educational system?
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying, that the educational system must integrate them, they must use them.
How
Just
can
that
we
sometimes
help?
people believe that it must be taught as subjects, but I think that we can fuse them.
How do we fuse them?
So we have to start with of course, the people who are doing the policy, the people who are designing the curriculum, and the people who are delivering the instructions in the schools. And we have to help them to design that. But if it cannot be part of the curriculum, then the various schools have to find a way to do that through extracurricular activities. So you go to some schools, they have the debating club, some of them have financial literacy clubs and all of that. One of the things, when I was in secondary school, I was part of the debates club, and it helped me a great deal to work on my communication skills and all of that, to be able to speak in public and in front of people and stuff like that. And what even made me more active in the debate club was that I had attempted to be a prefect in the school. And I had, you know, in secondary school, you go around, you talk to people and all of that. On the day we were supposed to vote, you had to appear in front of the whole school and deliver a major speech, and then everybody goes to vote. Now, I stood in front of the people, came there, I thought
You had your speech all written.
So I got there, looked at the people, a little over 1,000 students, and then darkness was upon the face of the You know, I went totally blank. Everything disappeared. I was nervous, and I didn't know what to do, but I was there, so I had to try and say something, and I still don't remember what I said. You know? So it affected the outcome of the election. So when we compiled everything, I realized that you know, I had won from the bottom.
Simply because you did not know how to speak in public.
Yes. So from that moment onwards, the next vacation, I went to a bookshop. I saw Dale Carnegie's book on public speaking.
Fantastic.
I bought it. I read that book. I read
cover
it
to
cover several times.
Did the exercises that you recommended?
All the exercises. I read it several times. Then, so when I came back to school, we didn't have a debate club. At the time, we had been trying to establish one. So I came back and said, no, we need the debate club. So I took charge of it and then formed the debate club, learned how to speak, and brought other people on board. We trained ourselves and all of that. And today, much of my work revolves around public speaking. I do corporate training, I speak in churches and all of that, because I learned from that experience from that time. And that is what personal development, soft skills, and this was even in a school environment that allowed us to form the club and to learn and all of that. So either it can be part of the syllabus, it can be fused into the various subjects that are done, or it can be treated as part of the extracurricular activities. But the policy of the school must encourage some of these things for people to take them seriously and do that. So yes, so there are policy integrating or fusing them into the various subjects that are done, and then also having other interventions. And I know Springboard does a lot of that in some of the schools as well. So we'll see how it goes.
I love this. I like the fact that you took that painful moment where you were all fired up for being at the top. But because you lacked a skill, you actually came last. But that wasn't the end. You took you took the responsibility.
Exactly.
And you went to find what is the cure for this particular disease. And you went through the motions, gathered the information, and used it. And most importantly, because you didn't want to lose what you had gained, you applied it.
Yeah.
And today, you are who you are because of those choices you chose to make.
So on a typical day, I'm very quiet, reserved. I don't talk much. But of course, when I have to work to speak, like sitting here, I don't even like there's everybody watching. I don't like it's not, but it's for a purpose. And so I can put myself together, work, and then come and do it, and then we go. So when you have to develop yourself, it's not about, oh, as for me, I don't like this, so I can't. It's a necessity. Some of the things are a necessity. You can't do without. It's like saying that, oh, breathing is difficult, so I won't breathe again.
You're dying.
You're dying. So it's like saying that, oh, I don't like reading, it's boring. You are going to be broke. I don't like to mingle with people, so I always like to stay in my room. You won't know anybody. Nobody will tell you about an opportunity. So you have to be, apart from being aware and all of that, you have to manage who you are. And that's how personal development comes in. Enables you to be able to do that.
Wow. 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 That was so, I mean, this is it's like the nitty-gritty. And Terry is just tearing down the path. We have to go for a commercial break. If you have somebody who is not listening yet, Charlie, do the person a favor. Call the person, tell the person to tune in, because we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Get me York's rent a car. I need a car in 15 minutes. Hi, I'm Jake Morris, and I travel globally. But when I'm in Ghana, York's Rent a Car is my reliable choice for safety and comfort on the road. York's Rent a Car provides comprehensive logistics services to mainly blue chip companies as well as individual clients.
At a time, we needed a car rental service, and York's fitted in very well to our standards.
Their services is top notch. Drivers are on time.
It was beautiful to see them behind the wheels, and anytime they pick up a guest, the guests were very, very happy.
Already? Excellent. York's Rent a Car provides services and expertise that include meet and greet services at the airport, car rental, driver personal outsourcing, and vehicle detailing.
What's the problem? It's you. I told you. York's Rent a Car delivers world-class service to its customers, having their highest safety and comfort in mind. So watch you. Go over to open for him.
York's Rent a Car runs 24/7 operations where customers can make car reservations and inquiries of our services online and also call our hotline.
Hi there, and welcome back to the Springboard Hangout. Today we are hanging out with Terry Mante, and he is teaching us all about personal development and continuous learning. We looked at what personal development is, and we realized that it's something that you have to decide. I mean, nobody can do it for you. And if you don't decide to do that, to learn something that you may lack, something that you realize that you would need in life, not just in work. Sometimes we are so skewed to our workplaces, we don't realize that there are other things that we would need to succeed in life. But things that you need to succeed in your life, you take the responsibility and you work towards that. And after laying that foundation, she showed us how in his life he realized that he needed to acquire the skills of speaking in public. And by the way, public speaking, every one of you who is watching, you must make it as part of your skills that you would acquire. This one, dear, this is from me to you. We have to learn how to speak in public. So after that, he had an issue with he was last because he couldn't speak well in public. So he took the responsibility to learn how to speak in public, and now that is what he uses on a daily basis. So we are moving from there. We are asking ourselves, okay, so we've realized that it's our personal responsibility. We have actually seen things that haven't gone well in our life, but sometimes we were scared. We said, oh no, we won't do anything. Or we say that me naturally I'm an introvert, as you are, but so I won't learn how to speak in public, but it's having an effect on you in the workspace because you're not being selected for very, very, good positions because they look at you, and when you rise up to speak, the spirit departs from you. In this case, I can see that these skills that people acquire helps open doors for them. Yeah. Do you have a situation, or can you narrate a situation where someone didn't have a particular skill, and because of that, some doors were shut? Yeah.
So there is a lady I know, a receptionist, and this person goes to work, and she just sits at the front desk, and she brings out her makeup kits. And then she's applying. Okay, she look good. She's polishing her face. So, and one of the things that, as part of soft skills, we must recognize environments, contexts, when to do what and when not to do what, and all that. So, and it's a regular thing. So she sits there, and every 5-10 minutes, so eventually she was fired. And then there was a story a friend of mine told me a while ago that somebody who had gone to school had a diploma in secretaryship. The person applied for a job, the CV was okay, she went for the interview, she spoke nicely, and all of that. So they gave her an assignment. They gave her a script, a handwritten script, 2 pages, and said, "We're giving you 1 hour. Type it and bring it." So 1 hour, a handwritten script, which is of 2 pages. So when you are typing it, it's like about half a page. The person could not finish typing it. So the person went to school, somehow managed to pass the exam, got certificates and all of that, but because she couldn't deliver within the time she had been given, she lost the job. Oh. She didn't get it. Diploma in secretaryship.
Diploma? Secretaryship?
Yes.
And you can't type?
You can't type.
How possible?
You can't type.
And so, what
speed and all of that.
Yeah. It's about developing the necessary skills that is aligned to your position.
So somebody came for an interview, a panel I was on, and I asked the person had put a University of Ghana. I should have mentioned the university, my own university, University of Ghana graduate. And the person comes and says, "Oh, I am very good. I type very fast." So I asked the person, "So how many words per minute can you type?" He said, "Oh, I can do about 15 to 20. I said, "Hey, please, let's pretend we didn't ask that question." I know the standard is like 40 words per minute. And even that one, if you do that, you are slow. And I said, let's pretend we didn't ask
the question, crap.
So we are not going to evaluate you on this because you're 15 to, and he was very impressed. He said it very confidently. Like, "Oh, I can't tell."
You know, it's possible that he didn't even know his word speed.
He didn't know.
He didn't know his word speed. So he has a first degree holder who feels very confident in what you do. But some time ago, that was kind of the way you can enter the door. Yeah. But nowadays, it seems as if a second or a third degree is what is opening doors. Where are we now? Is it second or third? And why?
Question about degrees. Now... Should I speak only in the Ghanaian context, or I should speak global? In a global
okay,
context?
so we have to localize it. So let's speak from the global context, and then we can narrow it into the,
So from the global context, now we don't even need a degree to land certain jobs. You don't need a degree. So a lot of big companies, I don't know if I should mention the names of the companies. KPMG in the UK, not England, in the UK. Pricewaterhouse, I think so too. Google, all these companies, now they don't make first degree requirements. They just put the job out there and they mention the skills they need. So they would say you should be able to code in this, you should do that, you must be flexible, you must be a leader, you must have so if you can do the job, come and do it. They don't ask for degrees. They don't ask for which university you went to and all of that. And it's happening. The reason is that Now the avenues for learning have expanded beyond the walls of the university, beyond the formal classroom. Well, I remember a few years ago, I decided to learn about emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
And I learned it on the internet. I didn't go to sit in any classroom. I didn't go to any school. I just signed up for a course on Coursera.
Yeah.
And then I learned emotional intelligence. Then I went on YouTube and I watched different videos and all that. Today I sit in Ghana and I watch lectures from MIT and Harvard and all of that. I don't have a visa to the United States.
You don't need to be there, but you are attending those courses.
Exactly. On YouTube, free. You don't even need to register. You just see MIT open course, then it comes up, and then you can learn. I remember when I was in the business school for postgraduate, one of the famous people, Michael Porter.
Yes. He's always in every marketing book.
He's everywhere.
And strategy as well.
Strategy. So I was very elated when I sat in a lecture delivered by Michael Porter. You know, because I had read, of course, on the internet.
So was I.
So I was like, oh wow, she's talking about shared values. And I was like, oh, so this is Michael Porter. So he's alive. You know, sometimes when you read about these people, you think they are dead. You think it's old research they did, and so they are no longer alive.
And he's still very relevant.
Very relevant.
Very sharp.
Very sharp. So that's how. So if they limit it to have a PhD, have a whatever, then it becomes the companies themselves are shutting the door to the avalanche of talents that abounds out there. So now they are waking up to the reality. You can sit and develop all kinds of skills by yourself. And that is what is very important. We have talked about people who have degrees who go to the workplace and they don't perform. In the same vein, there are people who do not necessarily have the degrees, but they go
to the workplace and perform.
Because they are learning. They are adding values to themselves. They are learning from things that happen in their lives, and they are constantly improving. So these days, it's not so much about whether you have a PhD or an MBA or whatever. It's more about what you do with the knowledge you are acquiring. The good thing about enrolling in a formal educational system is that it gives you the framework, the guidance, the structure to acquire the knowledge. But if you can discipline yourself to acquire the knowledge yourself outside of the school environment, then that's fine.
I love this because it just answered a question that somebody had sent about if you don't have a university, if you have a university degree and yet you cannot speak or write well, what should they do? And so you've just answered that. The fact that you should have, but if you don't, Charlie, the internet is there. What we are using today that we are able to talk to you is there. Use it. There are so many courses. Udemy, Coursera, different ones that you can...
So many. Khan Academy.
Yes.
YouTube.
Even YouTube. Go there. Look for videos. How can I? Or adding value to yourself. Or whatever you want to learn. And once you type in that Google engine plus the YouTube engine will help you achieve your dreams. Charlie, I have a question for you, and let me go to the let me go to the next question that someone sent from Damango. Okay. The person is asking. The person says that how can YouTube, so Udemy, Coursera, Khan Academy and the like help bridge, why did he see your question? Bridge the gap between young people from poor countries and their counterparts from developed countries?
Yeah, so I think I've alluded to that.
Yes,
so
yes.
Once you have a phone or you have access to internet, then that's it. And so now because of how easy it is to even access knowledge, I'm almost coming to the conclusion that now knowledge by itself is no longer the difference maker. It's no longer the game changer, because the knowledge you have that makes you special. Just by the click of a button, the next person can get it. something that it may take you you may pay a lot of money to a lecturer or to a school to learn. Within a short, somebody can just get it within an hour on the internet. So now just it's so easy to acquire knowledge, that's all I'm saying. But you need the knowledge to survive in this digital age. So I am almost saying that now at the point we had the Industrial Revolution and people needed to have factories and all of that, then we moved to the information age. And I think that we are moving from the information age to the digital age.
The experience age.
To the experience age. So now, but it's undergirded by knowledge. So how much of this knowledge that is being churned out every day do you interact with? How much of it do you have? And what can you do with the knowledge? So for somebody who is far away, the location is no longer a barrier to progress. Once you have access to the internet, you can alter your life because everything is available. Everything is available.
Everything is available, so therefore you can alter your life simply by using that beautiful internet that we are using tonight. Right. So, Akosia is asking you, Terry, must your focus in personal development be on your interest or societal need?
I like that. Both. You have to blend the two. Because if it is just on your interest, and your interest is not relevant to the need of society, then you won't even, there is no benefit. You may not give value to anybody. So what your personal development should do is to be able to connect your interest to the needs of society. That's how I would say it. You're connecting, there must be a connection. Because if it is just about your interest and with no connection to the needs of society, then there is no relevance. Nobody is going to pay for it. Nobody is going to listen to you. Nothing is going to happen. It will just be something that gives you a sense of a certain satisfaction that may not last because it's just you. There is no exchange to be able to help you benefit. So yes, it must be connected to both. We must understand the needs of society. We must understand where the society is going. We must understand what is happening, because if you want to be significant, then you have to be, whatever you are doing should be beneficial to society. Yes.
So, I mean, when you're saying that you must be beneficial to society, where society is going, it reminded me about this talk about the metaverse and so on and so forth. It also brought to my mind meeting remotely, how now you can sit here and you can technically work in Nigeria without having to step a foot in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Charlie?
Yeah.
How do I survive if I don't have these kind of opportunities? Or what should I do? How can I survive in this new world?
So now this brings me to this concept of globalization and localization. Earlier you talked about globalization.
Yes.
Now there is nothing local. Localization is because the
it's absolute.
It's gone. So the boundaries have been removed. Somebody can sit in Accra and buy something from the UK, and within a week it's here. It's here.
At first I had to travel in order to see it.
You don't have to. Now you will see it. And now the metaverse is even going to make it more real. You
can even try it on.
You can try it on. So if you are here, you think your competitors are the people just around you, you are in trouble. I know people in Ghana who work for companies abroad.
Oh yeah. Two of my children do.
If they get paid in dollars, we have to be careful. GRA is watching.
Well, they have to pay their taxes.
They have to pay their taxes.
So that's on them.
Yeah. So that sort of, and they are here. In the same way, you can be here. There can be a nice bank here, but they won't hire you. They will hire somebody else to be their social media, whatever, or the PR, whatever, remotely. Somebody in India. I remember in the company I used to work in, and sometimes we would do our work and all. We do the report, and we say, we want the PowerPoint presentation to look nice and all. So we would normally hire somebody in India or Spain. So we do the work, we send it to the person in India or Spain.
Turns it around.
Just PowerPoint, turn it around. and there's a graduate here, a computer science graduate, an IT graduate, who says he doesn't have a job.
Because he doesn't know how to use PowerPoint.
Exactly. Or even if he knows how to use it, the way the things come out, so we had to always outsource that part. This is and I myself included, because I was there, but we were still outsourcing it to somebody in India and another person in Spain, depending on what it was. So this whole thing about globalization, it's localization, it's going very soon. So when we say globalization, people are thinking UN, NATO, and things like that. But it's closer to us than we think. So with all these things happening, we have to upgrade ourselves. We have to upskill what we do, because what you are doing, which is just good for the local market, your competition is all over the world. So you cannot do things cheaply or things with mediocrity and expect that you will enjoy, you survive for long. So because the whole world is your competition. The whole world is your competition. Therefore, you must look at how we can do things with excellence. Shall And let me also say that with all these things happening, so it's giving us more opportunities. So some people would feel that, oh, now I'm becoming obsolete. But in that same vein, new opportunities are coming. And there are so many things people can do. A few years ago, we meet people and say, I'm a social media, whatever. A few years ago, we didn't have that. So it's happening. I remember when there's this TikTok. When TikTok came, I saw it and I was like, young people are fooling here too much. There's too much. Yeah. So I don't want to be there. This was just about a year ago. I thought I don't want to be there. Then recently, I came across a report that says that the traffic on TikTok there is so huge. It has even exceeded the traffic on Google. Yeah. I said, hey! Then what am I doing? Why am I not there? Quickly, I got there. I'm still trying to learn how to fool there. Not fool, but because the society will leave you. It would move. It's moving. So. So what I mean, I know that we have really enjoyed this look at personal development. The examples have been so downright to earth and how we can look on it. So Terry, as you leave us today, what 3 things would you like anybody to keep at the back of their minds as they grow themselves, develop themselves, and learn continuously? So 3, knowledge, application of the knowledge, and then adaptability, how we can adapt the knowledge in different circumstances to be relevant. So knowledge, application, and then adaptability. Knowledge, application, adaptability. And in case you can't even think about it, let's start with our David again. David was in the field. He knew how to kill big things. Yeah. He applied it when he got the opportunity to kill Goliath. However, when he got to the king's palace and he was told that you are the one who's been troubling us, he became mad. So he was able to adapt in that particular circumstance. Yes. So knowledge, application, adaptability. Those are the 3 things we are leaving with you tonight. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm sure you've learned so much. We really will look forward for our next episode where we'll find ways to add value to ourselves. This edition will be repeated on ETV on Sunday evening at 5 p.m. And don't forget to join us on the virtual university as we listen to Reverend Albert and his amazing guests. Till we come your way next week, this has been Comfort Okran on the Springboard Hangout. And I can tell you, this is where we have fun and learn. You are blessed, you are loved, and enjoy a phenomenal week. Good night.